This is big breaking news. The top commander for the U.S. Marines and a top U.S. general just issued a major warning to the Marines. He is warning that, quote, it's coming. We're also getting travel alerts and travel advisories being issued as well too, and this could be a warning that we are going to see military activity very soon. So let's get into all the details here. You guys can see this is General Eric M. Smith. He's a commander of the U.S. Marine Corps, and he is giving a major warning. All right, we are also getting this travel alert being issued by the U.S. Embassy, and we're getting alerts and more info on Trump sending B-52 bombers to Venezuela. But let's listen to this really quick. I want you to listen to this top U.S. Marine commander.
The Marines here today are cut from the same cloth as those who seized Tarawa, withstood the cold of Korea, and fought through the streets of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan. And the next fight is coming. Trust me, it's coming. Across battlefields, our character has never wavered. Just as the nature of war, the clash of wills, the test of fortitude, the demand for discipline remains the same. To our Marines here today and around the world, I could not be more proud of you.
All right, so you heard that there. He said, the next fight is coming. Trust me, it's coming. So he's warning that the next big war is here on our doorstep. It's coming, and it could be Venezuela. It could be Iran, maybe. Lower probability, I think. I think Venezuela is on top of the list. I think Russia is next. Russia-Ukraine war, potentially NATO getting involved, is number 2. And I think number 3 is Russia-China joint, right? Where China is trying to take Taiwan and Russia is maybe making a front on NATO. And I think lowest on the list is Iran potentially as well too, but it's definitely on the list. All right, so let me know what you guys think the next big war that he's talking about. He's saying, trust me, it's coming. All right, kind of like it's like, trust me, it's almost here, and you guys better get ready. Okay, and this kind of coincides a little bit with what we're seeing here. Okay, you can see here the U.S. Embassy, Port of Spain, issued this alert. It says, due to the heightened state of alert, please avoid and refrain from visiting all U.S. government facilities in Trinidad and Tobago through the holiday weekend. It says, actions to take: avoid all U.S. government facilities in Trinidad and Tobago. Be aware of your surroundings. Monitor reputable news outlets. U.S. citizens seeking travel in the United States must have a valid U.S. passport. Report any suspicious activity to local authorities. And says, please tell your U.S. citizen friends and family to sign up for the Smart Travel Enrollment Program so that they may receive these alerts and updates too. All right, so this is an alert put out by the U.S. State Department. This was earlier today, and they are warning on X, Twitter here. Make sure you're following me on there just in case anything ever happened here over at YouTube. But they're putting this alert out, and I think it's potentially related to Venezuela and these trafficking boats that have been getting hit, okay? There's been multiple boats that have been hit from different countries, okay? And they're saying, certain citizens are from different countries. Some of them, there's one boat and multiple people from multiple different countries too. All right, it doesn't mean that they're not trafficking fentanyl, and they can see it on the boats. And there was also a quote submersible that was hit, almost a submarine, a semi-submersible, where it can go a little bit underwater, okay, but it's not going deep underwater like a submarine. It can actually take a lot of pressure, okay, but it's kind of just like right under the surface, and that's how it's traveling. And one of those was actually taken out as well too, right? With a drone or a jet. I'm still not sure exactly what they're using. I'm assuming it's some type of drone. All right, that's the most likely scenario. That's the safest scenario. But there's also a lot of military assets in this part of the world right now. Okay, they have a lot of ships. They're sending planes. They're sending fighter jets. But most likely it's just drones that are continuously surveilling the area. And then when they see these people go in and out of these certain ports, and then they're taking these routes, and then they can zoom in on the boats and see, then they are pretty certain that this is what they're doing, right? There is a lot of controversy in this, but at the same time, it's like these people are bringing poison into our country, and it needs to be stopped. And this has actually been a major wake-up call, and people are thinking twice, okay, about doing this now. It's not as just before. It was just, yeah, just run the speedboat to the U.S., drop it off, no big deal. Now there's a hesitation, and they are thinking twice about doing these things. So is this the war that they're talking about? Maybe. There's been a lot of military assets that have been put in position in the Caribbean, and this is Trinidad and Tobago is right near Venezuela. They were worried that there could be a little bit of blowback, all right, potentially from local people, like protesting or rioting, freaking out near these embassies and U.S. government facilities in response to these boat strikes. All right, that's also something that they're a little worried about, is, people getting upset and then potentially attacking a embassy there in Trinidad and Tobago. It's not that far from Venezuela. Okay, so lots of big movements. Is this the next war? Is it Russia and Ukraine? There's been a lot of talk from NATO, right? The past week, they had their NATO yearly summit, and there was a lot of threats issued there as well, too. You can also see here, B-52 bombers are being deployed near Venezuela. Let's listen to this really quick, and then we'll talk more about it.
American B-52 bombers seen here flying off the coast of Venezuela in a show of force by President Trump. This comes as the White House takes down another drug boat in the area, while the president confirms he has authorized CIA action inside of the regime. Trump summing it all up with this message for Nicolás Maduro. Listen.
Mr. President, it has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources.
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to around with the United States.
Wow, strong words. Maria Salazar, she's the congresswoman who serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. She's also the chairwoman of the Western Hemisphere Committee. So this is your space, Maria. Give me an assessment of how Donald Trump, our president, is doing on this issue.
Let's clap for Trump. And I'm a proud Republican at this hour, and I want send the message to everybody that's watching us. He is doing the right thing. This is a historical moment to free the hemisphere from the bad hombres.
So the pressure is mounting. You're seeing these B-52 bombers. They're flying off the coast of Venezuela. As I mentioned earlier, the president confirming that CIA on the ground. What is happening with Maduro right now? How is he feeling? Do you think that chances of him leaving in a peaceful way and a peaceful transition to the opposition party who won the election is likely to happen now?
That would be ideal. And that is what Maduro needs to be thinking. Let me leave, let me go somewhere, enjoy the profits of my labor, and just give the country back to the opposition. Maria Corina Machado, who's hiding somewhere in Caracas, they have a plan together. The opposition won 70-30, and they're the legitimate president. People need to understand they have the largest reserves of oil in the world. Those reserves need to be in the hands of a democratic government, not in the hands of these drug kingpins.
So it's interesting. Venezuela is very unique in that way.
Yes.
When that transition happens, it I mean, this is a country that can stand itself up. It has the resources to do that.
And let me say something. They will definitely, and she has told me repeatedly that they want to work with the oil American companies, the American companies that do the oil drink. So this is the perfect moment for us to do business with them.
Maduro was trying actually to have it both ways. So he's been messaging out there. He's been using other people, also himself, to say, hey, I'll leave, but in the vacuum, we need the military in place, which of course are all his cronies and all his people. He'd kind of be like Autopen, right? He'd be operating the government from whatever country he went to through his cronies.
No.
And President Trump and Marco Rubio both said that ain't happening. And so he really is isolated further, not just through President Trump, but also his allies are fleeing. The Russians, we saw people from the Russian embassy fleeing last week as well. So these are big
They know what's coming. We have 10% of our naval force in the Caribbean. We have the Ghost, which is this perfect ship where we do all the operations from. We have Naval SEALs, Green Berets. Yes, this is exactly what we need to do.
Before the end of the year, do you think that we'll see a change?
No doubt about it. And remember that December 10th is in Oslo, is when the Nobel Peace Prize award is going to be given to Maria Corina, and we certainly hope that she is the legitimate president of the country. She will go and be able to receive it, and she's told me that she wants President Trump to go with her.
To receive it.
So
amazing.
Let's hope that happens.
Well, massive developments right here in our hemisphere. We're glad you're on it, and we're so happy to have a president who's so focused.
We need to congratulate President Trump because I was in journalism for 35 years. I have never seen a president in the United States with the fortitude and the desire to free this hemisphere forever from the bad hombres. And Maduro is a very bad one. He's the head of a drug cartel called the Solis.
Yes. So
thank you for the opportunity to send this message.
Absolutely. And so many Latin Americans rooting for this effort as well.
My district 27 in Florida, the Venezuelan Americans are praying.
All right, Maria Salazar, Congresswoman out of Florida. Thanks for joining us this morning.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian.
All right, so you heard that there. And what they're saying is true. Okay, and she was saying she thinks there's going to be moves made before the end of the year. And before December 10th, she thinks that's going to happen because the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize is from Venezuela. Okay, so, and she was saying that she wants to give her Peace Prize to Trump for the Israel-Gaza deal. So she's saying there might be a move on Venezuela before then to install this woman as the leader of Venezuela. All right, so it's getting serious and big moves are being made. Is this what this general was warning of? It definitely seems like it. And to have the U.S. Marines involved too is a major warning sign that this is getting real, right? It's hitting the fan in Venezuela. And hopefully it's a quick operation. If this is what's happening, if Trump makes this call, hopefully it's quick, because I really don't want to see our forces get bogged down in Venezuela. It could be a nasty war. This is a narco state, and we could see just like guerrilla warfare tactics in Venezuela. But I think they're already there, okay? They said the CIA is already there. I think they could already have Marines there. I think military could already be there. I think they're setting up a lot of different forces and assets so they can make a swift move quickly, and I think they're going to take Maduro out, all right? And, some people might not agree with that, but I think that is the plan. I think that's what they're going to do, is because Trump even authorized lethal force for the military and CIA inside of Venezuela. So why else would they be there? I think they're getting set up to make a quick move, a quick strike to take out Maduro. And I don't know if they're going to just kill him or arrest him. I'm not sure what the plan is, but I think they are going to take him out one way or another and install this other lady as the leader. All right, so this is getting into very dangerous territory. Okay, and I completely understand the side of, you know, these people are trafficking this poison into the United States. That's 100% true, and it needs stopped at all costs, because we're giving billions of dollars to these criminal organizations, all right, and they're doing terrible things with it, and it's killing people in the United States. But at the same time, we're getting into very dangerous territory where we are moving into other countries and installing new leaders. But technically, he did lose the elections, and he shouldn't be the leader there, technically, according to Venezuela law. But at the same time, the U.S. is not really the ones to enforce Venezuela law. That's not really our jurisdiction. So, very sketchy territory. Let's hope all the U.S. forces stay safe, okay, and we don't have any casualties or anything like that. But it's going to be very dangerous and very high profile, okay, once they make the move. And I think it's going to happen soon, maybe sometime in November. People were also speculating that maybe they're waiting until hurricane season is over, or all the different tropical depressions and storms in that region. There's a few different ones right now. They don't want any threats to any of their aircraft carriers or planes, or any threats to the mission from a hurricane or anything like that. So people are also speculating that maybe they are waiting until November, when that threat is mostly clear. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying prepared, staying stocked up. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.